devastating earthquake in Afghanistan has claimed the lives of more than 1,000 people and left many more injured. The country, which is governed by the militant Islamist Taliban, is already in the grip of a humanitarian disaster, with millions facing famine. The Taliban have now asked for international aid, and Britain says it is ready to provide assistance. Now, the earthquake struck near the southeastern city of Khost in Paktika province. Afghanistan is particularly vulnerable to earthquakes because of a number of geological fault lines shown there in red. They cross the country at many points. The quake measured 6.1 in magnitude, damaging thousands of homes in one of the poorest countries in the world. Our correspondent Sekunda Kamani reports now from Sharana.
A desperate search for survivors. Hundreds of homes, entire communities wiped out in a single dreadful moment in the middle of the night. Everything here has been destroyed, says the man filming this video. The villages worst affected by this earthquake are in remote southeastern Afghanistan. With no paved roads, helicopters were used to transport some of the injured to hospital. There was a rumbling and my bed began to shake, Shabir tells us. The ceiling fell down. I was trapped, but I could see the sky. My shoulder was dislocated and my head was hurt, but I got out. I'm sure 7 or 9 people from my family who were in the same room as me are dead. At the hospital in the city of Sharana, patients are treated for their wounds. There's a fight to save lives, but thoughts are already turning to what happens next.
Shelter is now a crucial need because all houses have been collapsed. Foods, medicine, human things are very, very essential.
The scale of this disaster is hard to comprehend. All these people have gathered to donate blood in case it's needed, but whole villages have been flattened. This is just the start of this crisis. 1-year-old Saidullah was struck on the head by a piece of debris. 3 of our relatives were trapped under the rubble, says Shamira, his grandmother. There's nothing left of our house. If someone buys us a tent, we'll find a place to put it and live there. We have no choice. Taliban officials have called for aid agencies to help provide support. Many are rushing towards the epicenter, though bad weather could hamper their efforts. This was a country already struggling with a humanitarian crisis, with millions going hungry. Now, the misery is intensifying. Sekunda Kamani, BBC News, Paktika province.
With me here is our World Affairs correspondent, Caroline Hawley. Caroline, let's consider this Taliban regime, which of course has its problems with the rest of the world community. When they appeal for help, what is your sense of the readiness to provide help?
I think that is an absolutely critical question. The international community has faced the dilemma over how to respond to the suffering of Afghans since the Taliban takeover last summer. International funding for the country was withdrawn. Aid agencies had to scale back their work. But the UN is still working in the country. It's one of the poorest, as you know, on earth. It's already facing what the UN says is an unprecedented humanitarian emergency. And what you've got is crisis upon crisis, decades of war, COVID, a serious drought, the worst in nearly 4 decades, hunger, as you heard in Sekunda's report, and now this. So the UN Secretary General has said this is a moment for international solidarity, and time, of course, is of the essence if you want to save lives. Britain has offered help, not directly to the Taliban, but the Foreign Secretary Liz Truss has tweeted. She said, "My thoughts are with all those affected. The UK stands ready to support them." No specifics at all, however. Over the last 10 months, what's happened is that most countries have been giving money to the UN and other aid agencies, not directly to the Taliban government. And a senior UN official has said that neither the UN nor the Taliban have the search and rescue equipment they need. It seems they are looking to Turkey to provide that, but there is really a vital need to act very, very fast in this situation.